The United States, a constitutional republic forged in the fires of liberty and individual rights, stands as a beacon of omnicultural unity, a nation where people of every background unite under shared values, not divide into petty distinctions of tribe or creed. Yet a sinister force threatens to tear this noble experiment apart: multicultural tribalism. This ideology, with its insidious emphasis on group identity over individual merit, is a dagger aimed at the heart of our republic. It fractures our unity, fuels resentment, and opens the door to the creeping poison of Marxism. Make no mistake, multicultural tribalism is not just misguided. It's a dangerous betrayal of everything that makes America exceptional. At its core, multicultural tribalism rejects the melting pot idea that has defined America's strength. Instead of a nation bound by common principles, it pushes a fractured vision of competing ethnic, racial, gender-based, and cultural factions, each clamoring for supremacy. The 2020 census revealed that 40% of Americans now identify as non-white, and while diversity itself is no sin, the relentless push to prioritize subgroup loyalty over a shared American identity is tearing us apart. Look at California's 2023 reparations task force, which demanded $800 billion for historical injustices. This wasn't a call for justice. It was a declaration of war between racial groups, pitting one against another in a zero-sum struggle that breeds bitterness and division. The Constitution's promise of equal protection under the law is trampled when policies reward grievance over unity, creating a hierarchy where some groups are deemed more deserving than others. Worse still, multicultural tribalism is a Trojan horse for Marxism, that old specter of class warfare dressed in new clothes. By framing society as a battleground of oppressed versus oppressor, it aligns perfectly with the Marxist narratives that thrive on division. Critical race theory, now infecting schools across 35 states, as reported by the Manhattan Institute in 2021, teaches children to see themselves not as individuals, but as avatars of racial power dynamics. This isn't education, it's indoctrination designed to sow discord and resentment. Policies like DEI-based affirmative action and diversity quotas, still pushed despite the Supreme Court's 2023 ruling against race-based admissions, sacrifice meritocracy for ideological purity. When Asian students are penalized for their success and workers are judged by their skin color rather than their skills, we betray the very principles of fairness that define a free republic. These policies don't uplift, they don't facilitate equity, they degrade, fostering inefficiency and fueling anger among those who see their efforts punished for the sake of false equity. And then there's the moral cowardice of cultural relativism, the idea that all cultural practices are equally valid, no matter how barbaric. This is multicultural tribalism's rotten fruit, undermining the universal standards of the Constitution. In 2018, a Michigan court's leniency towards forced female genital mutilation, cloaked in cultural sensitivity, exposed the absurdity of this mindset. When we tolerate practices like honor killings or child marriage or female genital mutilation in the name of respect, we create parallel legal systems that mock the rule of law. This isn't inclusion or diversity. It isn't even tolerance. It's surrender, a betrayal of the individual rights that America was built to protect. And it doesn't stop there. On campuses like Columbia and UCLA in 2024, students demanded safe spaces to silence dissenting voices, targeting Jewish students and conservative speakers with a tribal zeal that would make Shaka Zulu envious. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression reported that 66% of college students now support restricting free speech, a chilling assault on the free discourse that sustains a republic. The consequences of this ideology are not abstract. They are visceral and devastating. The 2020 riots, after George Floyd's death, though sparked by perceived real injustice, descended into tribal chaos, with Minneapolis and Portland burning for months. The Economic Policy Institute pegged the damage at $2 billion, but the true cost was the erosion of civic trust. Politically, tribalism empowers demagogues who exploit group identities to sow division for personal, political, and/or ideological gain. The 2024 election cycle was a circus of candidates pandering to ethnic blocs, turning democracy into a tribal tug-of-war. This mirrors the Marxist playbook, where loyalty to the group overrides loyalty to the nation, or to draw from George Washington, where loyalty to the faction overrides loyalty to the republic, leaving us fractured and unable to tackle real challenges like economic decline or border security without descending into identity-driven bickering. We can't stand idly by as this poison spreads. Multicultural tribalism, with its Marxist underpinnings, threatens to unravel the fabric of our republic. To save it, we must reject groupthink and recommit to the principles that make America great: individual liberty, meritocracy, and the shared identity rooted in the Constitution. We need policies that uphold equal justice, not group favoritism, and an education system that teaches critical thinking, not ideological conformity. The United States is not a collection of warring tribes. It's a nation of individuals bound by a common dream. To rescue our nation, to preserve our republic, we must fight with every ounce of our passion to reintroduce that dream to the generations that are being cheated out of it by the temptresses of the toxic left. We must confront and vanquish the neo-Marxists before the divisive siren song of multicultural tribalism leads to our ruin. When we come back, our segment on America's Third Watch, broadcast nationally from our flagship station WGUL AM 860 and FM 93.7 in Tampa, Florida.